I'm back with South Africa video number 3. Today's video is going to be about the day that I spent watching leopards. So here I am, we're about to start the afternoon game drive. I'm all ready to go. Omega and Joe, we start out down the road just like we do with every other game drive. And we see the things we usually see. There are lots of herds, the kudu. We see impala and inyala. We see 2 male impalas sparring. Now they're not really sparring, they're actually just kind of playing up. We think that these were 2 adolescents who were really just kind of learning how this whole dominance and mating dominance ritual was going to start, and so they are I guess practicing that. Then we see another herd of impala. They just stop, they stare, and then they scatter. They just take off running. We hear the hornbill. African hornbills serve as an alarm system in the bush. When something is going on, when they see something or sense something, they get very loud. Some may recognize hornbills as Zazu from the movie The Lion King. This is what he looks like in person. We also see and hear the baboons. Baboons serve as an alarm system as well. They alert other baboons in the troop, other wildlife that is near, that there is a predator nearby. Immediately, Omega and Joel know something is going on. So we start looking around and we see a female leopard. And we see her running. That's what catches our eye. She's not running very far, but she takes off and she's moving pretty quick. And then we see her approach the tree. We see her climb the tree. Thought that was odd. And so we look a little further, and in the bush we see another leopard. We don't have a really good view, but we can see his body. We can see his spots. We can tell that he's eating something. So what has happened is she has killed an impala. He has come and taken it from her. Female leopards will rarely challenge male leopards, especially if their cubs are not involved. He weighs significantly more than she does. Male leopards weigh close to 200 pounds. They outweigh the females by about 60 pounds. She weighs somewhere in the 130, 140 pound range. Leopards are solitary animals. They only come together during mating season. So we see him consuming or chewing on the impala carcass. And then we see and hear hyenas coming. And we see these 2 hyenas approaching, and immediately, within a matter of seconds, we see this leopard take the impala and 2-3 seconds just climbs a tree. Something I did not know. Leopards jump high enough to dunk a basketball in a single leap. And just the power and the energy that he exerted just in that single act was just absolutely incredible. So now we have 2 leopards in the tree. The female, who's in the higher branches because she's run there to escape him, but she doesn't want to leave the kill just in case something happens. So, and now he is in the tree as well. She is not happy because now she's trapped in the tree. She sees her kill and she also sees him with it. Something you realize when you're witnessing all of this: nature is hard. We tend to romanticize about the circle of life. The circle of life is not a cartoon. It is very real. It plays itself out in very real and graphic ways. It is sometimes very difficult to watch, but also something that's absolutely necessary. The 2 of them, they keep going back and forth with one another. He finally decides, I may have a chance to eat, but then as soon as he does that, she starts hissing and growling at him again, and then he goes back, finally decides that he has an opportunity to eat. But before he does so, he starts to pull the fur off the impala because he realizes there is no nutrition in the fur. He needs to get to the meat. I've not seen a great deal of leopard behavior. I've never seen one consume a kill. I've seen one guard a kill. I've never seen one consume one. So I didn't know that they actually did this. It was pretty interesting. Before anyone says anything, I am not as close as it appears. I photographed this with a 600mm lens. Although I can see him and see him well, I'm still too far away to pick up his sound on a microphone. We see a lot of images of leopards actually in trees. They don't live in trees, but they do live near trees. They live near the trees because they tend to take their kill into the trees to protect it and keep it from other predators. Leopards are the most efficient hunters of all the big cats. They're very skilled. They're not picky eaters. They will eat just about anything. Leopards will try to avoid other big cats. They are not big enough, although powerful, they are not big enough to fight with lions. Lions will also kill leopard cubs, pushing leopards to be very territorial. They try not to cross territories with lions. It's rare that you will see them both in the same territory unless they've both been stalking or hunting or about to ambush the same prey, which rarely happens. So as we're starting to lose light, we realize, okay, this is not a place that we really want to be at night. And so we have to head back. And here's a tip. When you start your game, before you start your game drive, go to the bathroom. Because sometimes, you get really excited and you drink a lot of liquids when you're out on these things. And someone may have to stop and get out and relieve themselves. And a person had to get out. And oddly enough, we see something move and it has spots. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. As it turns out, it was an animal called an African civet foraging in the dark. Needless to say that person who was taking a bio break hurried themselves back into the Jeep. And then we headed in. But the next morning we decided, hey, yeah, I know there's a lot more to see out here. We want to see what is going on with this leopard. So we go back out to that same spot. We go back out to this tree, we find it, and there he is. The female leopard is gone. What we assume is that at some point he allowed her to climb, jump, escape from the tree. But he is there and he is quite content. It will take him several days to consume this impala, but he will stay with it that entire time. Leopards don't need to hunt every day, so he was fairly content. Interesting to see it, an animal that was so enraged and violent just a few hours earlier and now just seems so peaceful. Some may think of him as being a bully, but actually what he's being is a leopard. Like all predators, he hunts, he eats, he makes other leopards. And she does the same. Please take a moment to click that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to keep up with that YouTube algorithm. I took several hundred still photographs of this leopard. Here are a few so you can see, just look into his eyes and see the beauty and the power of this animal. The good thing about this whole experience for me is I realized I've got several days left of this. So the next video, we're going to talk about my experience with the lion. Although it was not the same as the leopard experience, it was quite animated as well. Please tune in.